Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. We take a look at your weekend forecast, your Memorial Day weekend forecast from May 24th through the 27th. Things are looking pretty good for the weekend, except for Memorial Day itself, and maybe a hiccup on Saturday evening, but generally pretty good. Here's what's going on across the country. We can see we've got some clutter here kind of to our south. That's going to slide mostly to our south, maybe push a few clouds in our direction today, but we should stay dry during the day today. This system here will make a run at us Saturday evening, although in a significantly decreased coverage and intensity kind of way. But we could see a few rumbles of thunder, a thunderstorm or two, maybe even a stronger thunderstorm or two. I wouldn't worry about too much severe weather, but definitely a possibility for some thunderstorms on Saturday evening, probably after dark though, pretty late. I would say timing looks like maybe like 7 to 10, 11, 12 o'clock or so, and then it's cleared out of here by Sunday morning. So essentially happens in a way that Saturday itself is nice during the day, and then Sunday is very nice on the backside of this. But for Monday, this system that you really can't even hardly see, it's not really anything right now, it's a little bit just basically some upper level energy, will develop over the central part of the country, and that is going to head in our direction, and that does look to bring some more widespread significant chance of rain on Monday, with heavier rain and maybe some rounds of thunderstorms and things like that. So Monday doesn't look amazing, but the rest of the weekend looks pretty darn good. Currently, you can see here's our rain. A lot of this isn't even hitting the ground, and what is going to go well south of us. There's a little piece of a leftover complex of thunderstorms from last evening across Canada. That is not going to hit us either. That's going to swing by to our north. I think we're likely, it's not impossible that we could see a shower today, but I think very likely that we stay dry for most of the day, for the day today. Tomorrow we're also good, and again, before this system, which right now is impressive, there's been a lot of pretty good, what you might call basically a derecho across Iowa, which is basically when you get kind of these big bow echoes that kind of push well across the state oftentimes, or across several hundred miles. That developed overnight. There's been some spin-up tornadoes and things like that. The severe weather over the central part of the country has been pretty dramatic, basically from Texas all the way up to Iowa over the last few weeks. This is definitely severe weather season for them. So yeah, not unexpected, but definitely it's been kind of a rinse and repeat essentially over the the western or the middle part of the country. I wanted to say upper Midwest, then I wanted to say Midwest, then anyways. Middle part of the country. So that's, like I said, this system is going to head in our direction. We'll bring our front through, but the front will have weakened dramatically by the time the weather hits us on Saturday. But still could have a rumble of thunder with it, even a stronger thunderstorm. I wouldn't be too worried about much beyond that. And again, then we have this system to the west, which will eventually impact us. In terms of temperature, you can see we are really dragging hot and humid air up across the central part of the country. We've cooled off a little bit the last couple of days. We've had a little bit more of kind of a northerly influence on our weather, which has gotten us out of the hot weather that we had earlier this week, at least for this time of year. We had temperatures upper 80s, even hit some 90s in some spots Wednesday. So yeah, that's real warm for this time of year. Back to like still pretty warm for this time of year, but more reasonable with temperatures near 70. And we're going to see that a bunch mid 70s. We could touch 80 a couple times, so still pretty warm, still a bit above average for this time of year. It's a little early for the 80s, but not at all unusual for Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, pretty good weather. If we take a look at the overall pattern, you can see here's that kind of upper level low to our north, which has, while it has basically stayed, all the weather associated with it has stayed well to our north, it has kind of pushed back some of the ridge that had built across the northeast earlier in the week, and so that's kind of slowed that's given a bit of a northerly influence to our temperatures, which again has kept us, it's really kind of more zonal. You can see that we're not really getting anything from the north, but kind of more zonal, and that has allowed us to keep those higher temperatures and humidity from really kind of building across the northeast. What's going to happen here is this system will kind of keep the zonal pattern going before it's really, you can hardly even see it, but there is a little bit of a kink in some of these lines here across the desert southwest, and that is the beginnings of our next system that will really develop across the central part of the country, and then that will kind of cut off, or at least kind of roll through as an actual system for us on Monday. And Monday, like I said, those rounds of showers and thunderstorms really anytime but from daybreak on. Probably won't be wall-to-wall rain on Monday, but probably chances for rain pretty much throughout the day, and it could rain heavy for a while. I wouldn't be too worried about any kind of flooding or anything like that, but definitely we'll it'll be wet. and could briefly have some, the roadways could be kind of covered in water and things like that, just from like runoff and things like that. Nothing, I don't think the rivers or anything like that are gonna be a problem. But so, what does that actually look like today? We're around 80. Mostly sunny with a few clouds here and there. Overnight we cool back down to the 50s. To low 50s, so that's nice and pleasant for sleeping. Tomorrow, basically a good day on Saturday, with more clouds as you head later in the afternoon, and then evening storms, like I said, probably not till after 7 o'clock for the first of these. So essentially, we get a whole day, and if you have plans, outdoor plans in the evening, you just want to keep an eye out for that. We'll probably get around to those. Some people might avoid, but I think most of us probably see a storm on Saturday night. Temperatures, we remain cloudy. Could see some of those showers linger through 2, 3 o'clock in the morning before we just go to clouds when temperatures in the mid-50s. Sunday is nice. Temperatures around 80 or low 80s. Mix of clouds as we're kind of between these two systems. Temperatures fall back into the 50s, and then we get cloudy before we get heavier rain on Monday during the day, which will linger probably as a few light showers as we head into the overnight on Monday as we head towards Tuesday. Exactly what's going to happen after that gets a little fuzzy with how quickly the system's actually going to move out. Does it completely clear, or does it kind of stick around? Models aren't entirely sure on this. Looks like a couple days ago it looked like it might stick around and kind of give us a kind of drizzly week next week, but maybe not. Lately the models have trended away from that, so hopefully that'll be the case, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Probably a couple days still to figure out what the models actually, what the atmosphere, I should say, is actually going to do with this system. Let's take a look at those weekend highlights. Summer-like weekend, chance of stronger thunderstorms on Saturday evening. I wouldn't be too concerned about these. I don't think they're power outage kind of thunderstorms, but there could be a decent amount of lightning and some heavier rain with them and maybe a few gusty winds. So just be aware of that if you're out and about on Saturday evening. Temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80. Humidity builds towards Sunday and Monday brings unsettled weather once again. So that's what's going on. Thanks for supporting the channel. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West Florida Weather Guy. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there's a link in the description below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. It helps make sure that you don't miss any of my videos. I will be back on Tuesday, and I am going to try to get back as my schedule is going to ease up a little bit here. Trying to get back on Tuesday or Mondays or Tuesday mornings with that work week forecast. This week will be a Tuesday because Monday is Memorial Day. Have a good weekend. Get out there and enjoy the good weather.